Welcome to Dowdle Family Farms. We're in the training pen, and as you can tell, these piglets here have been uh, in this pen now for probably 3 weeks, these brown ones here. But yesterday, in addition to the 10 that were already in here, we added another 16 piglets to this training pen. These are piglets that are uh, we've just recently weaned from their mothers, and so you can see the in the background, back there behind that little bale of hay there, we have, they're actually right over there. They're probably 14 or 15. Um, but this is where we train them to the electric fence. There's a solid cattle panel or sheep panel on the outside, and then we have two strands of electric fencing on the inside. In this almost 4,000 square foot pen, we have 26 pigs right now. Um, this right here is the average size of the pigs in this pen. Um, these are our Mangalitsa Berkshire crosses, the brown ones with the little stripes. Of course, you can see the little black dots. It's pretty typical of a Berkshire pig. Now, the one right over there, farthest away, he is one of the. Those are the three oldest Berkshires that are in the pen right over there. Even that little runty looking one, he was sick for a while. And then the new Berkshire pigs are all over there around that half unrolled bale of hay. Let me see. You can see some of them even. See, there's a little Hampshire Berkshire cross right there. They were in the piles of hay, and you can't even get it. Howdy, Channel Princess Twilight Sparkle, Gort the Cappy. There you go. I don't know if I got those names right, but welcome to the live chat. Who else do we have here? I'm just kind of curious. But it's amazing how these little piglets can burrow under the hay, and you can't even tell that they're here most of the time. Sometimes on colder days, particularly, I don't even know that they're here. Hello, Stephen Noble says, howdy, Stephen. Glad you're here as well. But this is these were piglets that were born on our farm, all in the last 6 or 7 weeks, and then we've got a bunch more in the pasture over there grazing. You can tell this is the season of mud over here, but they're grazing on some cover crops out there. And so this is where we train them to the electric fence. I've just been sitting in a chair over here. Um, these piglets are real skittish at first. The brown ones have come up. If you saw the earliest part, Margaret Kamaka, aloha from Hawaii. Glad you're here, Margaret. Um, but these, all these little piglets here, they're real skittish. They've been used to me hand feeding them with their mothers, but we bring them over here and worm them and put the blue ear tags in their ears, and they get real skittish. So I usually just come out here and sit in the pen and do some work on the computer. There's my chair that I was sitting in earlier. And eventually they'll start coming up. Those brown ones that have been here longer. DJ says hello from Seattle. Welcome, DJ. Glad you're here. Um, but they get real skittish, and they get kind of nervous. And so to get them more used to me, I try to do some work in here, and it just calms them down a good bit less. Eventually, they'll get to the point like those that are about 6 months old. They're about 200 pounds in the field that I showed you a little while ago. they'll get to the point where they rub all over you and they're not scared of you. Um, but just spending some time in the pig pen, doing some work, usually editing YouTube videos, calms them down a good bit. Now, see, there are 16, 19 of the black ones in here, and right now I can only see there's one at the water trough, two, three, four. The rest of them are hiding behind that bale of hay and under some hay on the ground over there. So, anyway, a nice warm Sunday afternoon. We've had a lot of rain, but the sun's out today and it's a nice warm Sunday afternoon here at Dowdle Family Farms. And just enjoying the time in the sunshine. Y'all have any questions about the pigs or the pig pen? I'll be happy to answer whatever questions you may have if you have any. The new ones are getting, you may hear them squealing every now and then. They're still getting trained to the electric fence. There are two thin wires along the edge of this little panel here, and they'll hit the electric fence, and that just trains them to come back up into the pen rather than trying to run through it. Pigs are wildly crazy. Um, their natural inclination is to dart through a threat rather than backing away from it. And it doesn't matter whether they're 5 pounds or whether they're 500 pounds, they'll typically push through something. So when they get shocked with that electric fence, um, this training pen just teaches them to come back so that they stay inside. I don't know what those pigs are messing with over there. Oh, I need to zoom in some for you. The ear tags we go on, and this is the first time we put ear tags in their ears when they're this young. But I have found that putting ear tags in them when they're 10 or 20 pounds is much, much easier than when they're 175 pounds. They're much more difficult to hold at that age. Um, but when we ear tag them, we use that ear tag number just like a name to help us identify each pig. That way we know, for example, some of these will be breeders, some of them will be meat pigs, and then some of them will be sold to other people. But when they do go to the processor, they each have to have individual numbers, and that's what we do with those. That's what we do with those ear tags. They've got to have personal identifications. Uh, so we go on and do it when they're small. One little interesting piece of information about the pigs is that it's kind of hard to tell, but these smaller ones that you see are much stockier than the ones that have been in here longer. One of the weird things about pigs, putting them on, and they've got free choice grain. Let me see if I can get around the shade in their feeder. It just as soon as they eat some, more of it falls in there. But pigs don't gain weight very well when they're real small, less than about 44 pounds. They don't gain very well on grain alone, especially if it's a soy based grain. And so we try to keep them on their mothers as long as possible. Um, Lactose, not lactose, but the animal byproducts are where they get most of their lysine, and they tend to be much healthier. So until they get about 40 pounds, they tend to grow taller, um, but they don't feel quite as stocky or quite as bulky, unless we were able to give them some dairy products, which we used to do and we still do when we have access to it, but we don't always have access to it anymore. Um, this pen actually produces tons and tons of compost in it. We put bales of hay, wood chips, sawdust, biochar, charcoal, all kinds of materials. In fact, in this 4,000 square feet, since I cleaned it out last, we've probably put, I'd say 20,000 pounds or so of hay and wood chips of dried material. And the reason, though, is because it helps absorb their manures, which y'all can't smell out here, but there's no smell from the pig pen. We've had 4 inches of rain in the last 5 days, and so it's real wet. But by um, keeping the some kind of carbon-based material in the pen, it just helps absorb the manures and then it composts. These pigs will be in here for a few more weeks until they get a little bit larger, and then we'll move them out into our pastures. But you can tell that this material here just keeps building up, and in another this summer sometime we'll clean it out, pile it up, and it'll compost down, uh, and then we'll spread it out on the pastures. So it's a good way of producing compost that's great for our gardens, or our pastures as we typically use it in. It's cool to see those piglets running around everywhere. Anyway, it's just Rob from Dowdle Family Farms. Hope y'all have a great afternoon. We got piglets everywhere now. Thanks for stopping in on the live stream. Y'all take care and have a great day.